Hey guys, it's Chris. I'm back, and this time I'm doing a 90s tag. Thanks to Mr. Harry Brit. I'm going to jump straight into it because I am so prone to rambling. So the 90s was a really weird time for me when I went back and actually thought about it, because I started the 90s as a 9-year-old still playing with Barbie dolls and finished it having met the man who would end up becoming my husband, and was passed out drunk in town, missing a shoe and my bra and wearing these devil horns. So that is a big difference. So my taste in pretty much everything in the 90s changed really dramatically, probably more so than it did in the 80s or the 2000s or the nows. I don't even know what you call the 2000s and then the 2010 onwards. It's weird. So yeah, but I'll jump into it and I will try and be as broad as I can about the 90s, if that makes sense. Number 1, favorite toy. The ones that I remember the most having was Grip It, which was like those 2 Velcro pads, and one person would have one and one would have the other, and you'd throw a tennis ball at each other. I thought that was really cool. And I did have a Tamagotchi. It died and I just couldn't be bothered after that. It was too much fucking work. And I had a Furby. Yeah, I was one of those people. I'm sorry. Number 2, favorite advert. I think the first 2 that came to mind, I actually think they're both New Zealand ads. But I'll link them down below anyway, just in case. One of them was the Toyota Bugger ad, which won a whole bunch of awards when it came out. The other one was this Sanitarium Utter Peanut Butter Nutter ad, which had the most annoying song ever. And it made every kid that I know want to work at the Sanitarium factory, because it made it look like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, only with peanut butter. But it wasn't that cool, because we had to go on a class trip to Sanitarium and we were all really excited until we got there and realised that no, it's just a boring factory. Number 3, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. I mean, seriously, that's like asking me to choose between puppies or cute baby pandas. No, I will not be a party to that. I mean, I loved them all equally. Like, I'm talking 5, Blue, 98 Degrees. There were a whole bunch of other ones as well. I probably still have CDs of them floating around. However, if you were to look on my phone right now, you would find a couple of NSYNC songs, because everybody loves Bye Bye Bye, and you cannot help yourself but sing and dance along to it when it comes on. But I don't have any Backstreet Boys, so take from that what you will. Number 4, weirdest fashion trend. Hands down, hypercolor t-shirts. Yeah, like that's a really good idea. A t-shirt that changes color in places where you get really hot. That's just kind of disgusting and kind of pointless. And I really don't know what is up with the sunlight in here right now. The lighting is really bad because we've got some crazy ass weather going on. It is all like raining one minute, super sunny the next. But that's New Zealand for you. 4 seasons in one day. Thank you very much. Number 5, favorite collectible. Don't judge me. I collected Beverly Hills 90210 trading cards. Yeah. The 90s was also when my obsession with collectible Barbie dolls started, because they had like the Gone with the Wind and the Marilyn Monroe ones, and so I had to have them, and I still collect them now. It's weird. Number 6, favorite game system and game. I know I was still playing my computer a lot at the beginning of the 90s because I could not stop playing Impossible Mission from like the 80s, and it was like such a cool game. But I do know that I had a Sega Mega Drive and I played Sonic the Hedgehog like all the time. I loved it. I absolutely pwned my cousins in it, and they were pissed because I was a girl and I was beating them. It's like, yeah, that's how I roll. Number 7, favorite music artist. Okay. The 90s is a really big time period, and I must have changed musical taste so much. It was like up, down, up, down. But I mean, I loved everything from like Britney and all the boy bands to like Ricky Martin to Nirvana, Green Day, Alanis Morissette, Oasis. Just way too much to choose from. There is so much good music in the 90s. There's a whole bunch of bad stuff as well, but we'll just forget about that for now. Number 8, favorite Nick show. I remember back in New Zealand for a while, before we got like Sky, which was kind of like our digital network, we didn't have a dedicated Nickelodeon channel. So I really I actually had to go and Google this because I wasn't sure what shows were Nickelodeon ones and which ones weren't from the 90s. But I found out that Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch were all Nickelodeon shows, which is great because I really like them. So those will be my favourite Nickelodeon shows. Number 9, favourite candy. Hands down, without a doubt, it was the Cadbury Neapolitan bar. Holy shit, this thing was so good. It was like a layer of chocolate and then vanilla and then strawberry chocolate and like, you know, like one of those bars that have the 8 pieces that you pull off. And it was so good. And then when they cancelled it, I actually think I signed a petition to have it brought back. So, but they haven't, ever. And I'm still devastated. If I ever see one of those, oh my god, I would be all over that like a fat kid on a candy bar. Number 10, favourite TV shows. Okay, from the beginning of the 90s to the end of the 90s, I would say it probably changed a wee bit. But the ones that stick out the most, like from the beginning of the 90s for me, was like Blossom and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and like Sailor Moon. I loved them. I think Sailor Moon was the beginning of the 90s. But yeah, oh my god, I so wanted to be Blossom. I think that's where my obsession with hats now comes from. I loved it. But by the end of the 90s, I was still massively into Highlander, the TV series, because I think it started later in New Zealand than it did over in the States because, you know, technology back then, kind of slow. And obviously, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, probably one of the coolest TV shows to come out of the 90s, in my opinion, because even now it still has the biggest following. It is huge. I picked one more from sort of the ones that were left as well, which was like favourite books. And at the beginning of the 90s, I was still really hard out into Sweet Valley High. And then there was like Sweet Valley Kids, Sweet Valley Teens, Sweet Valley University. I read them all. I had them all. It was insane. By the end of the 90s, though, I was reading things like Lord of the Rings and Gone with the Wind, and I think I just sort of started getting into, like, you know, fantasy epic books and stuff as well. So, it was pretty cool. So I'm just going to tag a couple of people to do this as well, because I'm really interested to see what everyone else was like in the 90s and what they were listening to. Oh my god, Spice Girls! How did I forget the Spice Girls? Jesus, what is wrong with me? Anyway, back on track. I'm just going to tag a couple of people to this. The first one is Servitorix. Second one is Handsome Cracker. And the third one is Vlog Life Nina. I'll link all of their channels down below. They're freaking all really cool people. They do great videos, mostly for Movie Club, but sort of some additional ones as well. You should check them out if you haven't. Although, really, anyone who's watching this has probably been subscribed to them way longer than me anyway. So, if I didn't completely piss you off and annoy you, please like and subscribe. Whatever. Oh, can I throw in one more thing? Favorite saying from the 90s. After Clueless came out, everything was like, as if and whatever. Best sayings to come out of the 90s. Okay, guys. Bye. Like, seriously, who wouldn't have wanted that wardrobe from Clueless? Freaking awesome.